You're listening to a portion of our conversation from episode 254 featuring the Jurassic Wire with myself, Brad Jost, and co-host Aaron Beyer. If you want to hear the full conversation, download the episode on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever else you listen to podcasts. Today, we discuss a ton of Jurassic World Dominion topics, from the delay of the movie, to the Lysosaurus, to the logo, to Blue in the Wild, Owen dying, Malcolm shirts, and so much more. It's a really, really fun one. As always, be sure to let us know what you think, and of course, we hope you enjoy it. First off here, it's the biggest thing that I think we can talk about, and I feel like a lot of the news that we have today might be, it's a little delayed, it's the end of the month, but Jurassic World Dominion has been pushed to 2022, June 10th, I believe, right? So, what are we going to talk about here? We got to talk about this because I want to know what you think. I want to know what you think, man.
I mean, we called it, right? And people thought we were crazy. And they were not going to let this thing come out to theaters the way things are.
Yeah. I love that because, we have been saying this for months and months now. And, you're right. It was always one of those things where it's like nobody's going along with what we're saying. Everybody's like, no, you're crazy. It's definitely going to hit it. There's no way they're going to push this thing. And
no.
Pushed,
I think this movie will be done by June, 2021. I think it'll be done.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. You're probably right there. I mean, it's the fact that, like you're saying, you got to make the most bang for your buck, and 2021 is not going to cut it. Even if there's a miraculous cure at that point, I don't think it's going to happen. That's not going to be the case. But it's just not going to be a packed house. So that's something they want to push off. Save it for 2022. Hopefully everything's good. They can have a packed theater and make the most bang for their buck. I can't do this for much
longer, man. It's got to be good. Like, we got to be good. I don't even know if I can handle this for 2021. Like,
I know. It's the fact that we're talking about pushing it, the fact that 2021 in June might not be okay. It's like, ugh.
I know, right? Like, the movie already felt so far away, and talking about how it might not be okay by then, I'm just like, that's so far away.
Yeah. I mean, and like I've said before, and we both said, it's the best thing possible for this movie. And if, say, for instance, they are done and everything's fine by June 2021, at least this gives them the opportunity to not rush to make that date. Like, they don't have to hit a hard June 2021 date. Right. They can take their time a little bit more than previously, and the visual effects have some more time to work on things, and at this point the movie is what it is, unless they go back for reshoots at some point. But it gives them much more time to work things out, and I think that's a good thing. When they announced this, I was just like, this is amazing. I might have been, I feel like, one of the only people in the community that was like, yes, finally we get that word.
Well, because how much longer do you let it go and give like this false hope to fans that they're going to have this thing they've been looking forward to in 2021? Like, they couldn't have gone till May, they couldn't have gone till April. This was the time to do it, like, hey, you were expecting a trailer by Thanksgiving. Like, don't, or like this is the Super Bowl. Is like that even a thing? Are sports a thing anymore? Like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, you're a little probably off there, because as soon as they announce this, people are like, hey, well, can we get a teaser now? Like, just to hold us over until, and I'm like, no, like, maybe they'll show some pictures, but I don't think we're getting anything just yet.
They're not going to do anything, because here's the thing. All right, look, Wonder Woman is easily the poster child for what it looks like to basically give your entire movie away a year in advance, right? Like Wonder Woman 2, because they were running the typical, like, they were in the middle of their marketing blitz for that movie when this all went down, and I feel like I've seen that movie, and like that was my number one movie of the year, man. Like that was the one I was looking forward to the most. And I feel like it's already come and gone because the trailers were so amazingly epic
Yeah.
that I'm like, oh yeah, that movie never did come out, did it?
No.
Dude,
It's such
we
a
were supposed
weird
to have a
year.
Ghostbusters movie by now, man. What
I
happened?
know. I was recording another podcast and we were talking about we made a list of 31 movies to watch during October that are spooky themed. And
Sure.
I was like Ghostbusters is on the list and I'm like, "Oh my god, we almost could have had a new Ghostbusters on this list that would have been out in our houses by this point."
In our houses, right?
You know?
Like on Blu-ray.
Like,
Yeah.
And I just was like, "What? What a year."
Ghostbusters. So Ghostbusters is going to be a reoccurring theme during this podcast because I have a lot to. I think Ghostbusters
which
is
side
actually
are they
a really
on?
good mirror for what's going to happen in 2021 with Jurassic. So
Yeah,
be prepared for some Ghostbuster talk.
Where's my hand? Where are they? There they are. Ghostbusters. I don't know which way to turn on this camera. I love Ghostbusters. Yeah, I was bummed about that. But yeah, everything's getting pushed, and I felt like Jurassic was one of the last to kind of like to pull the trigger and let it
They were the
go.
last
And
holdouts, yeah.
yeah, so it's good. It's nothing but good. I don't see this as bad in any way. I can't even think of one bad thing.
Yeah, I think that one of two things is going to happen with that. It's either going to be done or it's going to be a really long post-production process, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
It just means that everything gets more rounds of notes and more rounds of finessing and more rounds of kickbacks and more rounds of approvals. And,
Yeah.
a longer time period cannot harm this movie.
Yeah, I guess. I feel like Colin's got so much good faith right now that, does that stuff, will it affect him as much? They want to kind of like let him do his thing right now because he's like riding on a high with his Star Wars, getting kicked off of that and it potentially being a better movie and all that stuff. So
Sure.
I don't know, but yeah, it's a good thing. And the poster, let's talk about that poster. I just had it up on the screen there for a second.
Yeah,
what do you think?
Right?
Yeah, because it has all the names up top. It says June 10th, 2022. The amber with that logo, backlit. It's really cool looking, dude.
It's cool. Do you think this is the official teaser? Do you think this is the new logo poster?
I don't know, man. I think it's really interesting the fact that there's zero name on the movie. I mean, it speaks for itself. Jurassic, it's something that we have always said. Jurassic speaks for itself. And I love that they're kind of taking that to heart here with this poster. And we get it. We know that that's a piece of amber. We know the T-Rex logo. We don't need anything else. And I think it's interesting. I've been, I asked Colin on Twitter like months and months ago. I was like, we're tired of sharing around this, fake looking Jurassic World Dominion logo. Let's get something real. And I still don't think we're there yet. I don't think this is like what you're going to see on DVD covers and all that good stuff and the promotional, materials and stuff.
Yeah.
Because it needs a name. It feels very different from every other Jurassic thing just because there's no title in there.
My outlook on this is my outlook is different depending on what it is. If this is like a teaser, like, hey, our art department mocked this up and we just wanted to do something fun because we know that you're going to be bummed about it being pushed. Like, so we'll release this cool little emblem. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Now, if we're going to like really critique it and talk about if this is like the teaser poster that is supposed to go with like, it's the new logo poster. Like, I've got 5 of these things so far. Right. And they all match up. If this is the 6th one, I hate this because I hate this. Like I hate the Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus and Pteranodon. Like it doesn't match in the series. And the T-Rex is like not in the right spot. The skeleton's not in the right spot for that. So again, if this was just something fun that the art department whipped up, just to kind of like, hey, we're sorry, here's something fun, then awesome, great. It looks beautiful. I think I wouldn't be upset if the teaser poster had this amber backdrop with the T-Rex inside. I think that's actually really cool. But without it saying Jurassic World and Dominion under it, in that circle with the banner, that's what I want for a poster. I don't get any of the other posters except for those. So that's what I want out of a poster, and I hope that's still coming. But I like this for what it is, which is, I think, just a fun Twitter moment.
Who was it that just posted it? Was it Bryce? I think maybe Bryce Dallas Howard. Let's check this out. I'm throwing this on Instagram, because we had talked about this thing again months ago. This logo that is out in London, out at their hotel where they're all staying.
Mm-hmm.
And so Bryce posted it as well the other day, and let me bring that up real quick. So there you can see the same rock work. It kind of looks like shells almost, or it's weird looking, but I guess it's just tiny rocks.
Shells, yeah.
But like sticks in the middle of the words to like out, like it's got that classic Jurassic like outlined look.
Right.
It's pretty phenomenal how good of condition this thing is. And of course she is in that perfect position to block out the 3 slashes. And actually you can kind of see one of them right there, it looks like. But
don't do it to me.
Yeah, again, it's an odd thing. Like, it doesn't really, there's nothing here to say like this resembles that amber thing, but I would love to see like if the amber was that backdrop, and then the T-Rex up top and the words and all that. But then to add on the 3 slashes onto that, I'm like, now you're going way too far.
They're not going to do it. They would have said already this. They said the title is Jurassic World Dominion. It's not Jurassic World 3 Dominion. So there's no 3. There's no slashes.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, that would have already been known.
You would think, but like even in Colin's tweet, for the past 3 months, I've worked with. Let me bring that tweet up there for you guys to see it. He said again here, for the past 3 months, I've worked with an extraordinary cast and crew on a film we can't wait to share with the world, even though we'll have to wait a little bit longer. It'll all be worth it. Let's stay healthy and take care of each other until then. He didn't mention the title in there. So it's so funny to me that this just going like unmentioned here. It's honestly, it's kind of like everything I've been asking for over the past several years. It's kind of just like going dark and just give us, the bare minimum as far as, promotional materials are concerned. And
I think they've been doing a great job of doing minimalist spoilers, like, official spoilers. And we'll talk about official stuff in a little bit. But I think they've done a great job. I mean, I think it's been along the lines of, with the compies in the cages and the set photos of, I think it was like Chris Pratt in the woods that looked like sauna style woods. The box, like what's in the box moment that passed around on social media, like that's been great. I just don't think we need more than that. What do we gain from it, except like, especially now that we're basically where we were last year at this time. Like, we're a year and a half out from this movie.
Oh man. Yeah, that's true. It is delayed, and I do want to bring up something that I thought was pretty interesting. I'm actually going to go over to Chris Pratt's Instagram. Actually, I feel like that's probably the best place to take a look at it. This was around. It was a what do you call an Instagram post? A post? Yeah, okay. A gram?
It was a gram.
I don't want to say that. I feel weird. Anyway, he grammed this, guys.
Old.
I know. Do kids say that? Hey, guys, what do you say? So he posted this.
Is it an Insta?
He insted? I don't know. He posted this pic.
God.
Hey, I had a birthday and I'm old now, guys. That's what happened. You missed it. Anyway, he says 30 years of Jurassic legacy culminating in one epic final film, like the fabled monsters of 65 million years ago. This film, too, shall rule the earth. Hashtag Jurassic World Dominion. So he got the title in there.
Yeah, why not?
So this is it's a very, unsuspecting kind of comment here, but I was just looking at it and I'm like, oh wait, 30 years of Jurassic legacy culminating in one epic final film. I feel like that's interesting. The interesting wording there. What does he mean?
Because it goes against what Frank Marshall said.
It does. It goes very much against that because, Frank was talking about expanding the universe and creating a new era of films and stuff like that. Or maybe not films, content, So
I think, and I feel like I've been saying this forever, but I think this is Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard's last one. Like, I think this is Trevorrow's last one. Like, this is the new trilogy. And I think after this, we're in the Jurassic world, and they've created a cinematic universe, whether they meant to or not. They've created one. All you had to do was bring the dinosaurs to the mainland, and now you have a cinematic universe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I think this is Jurassic World, and we're in it now. And from now on, there can be more TV shows, more movies, smaller movies, bigger movies, comics. Like we can go Star Wars with this.
Motion comics.
Stop with the motion comics. Honestly, we can almost stop with the comics. The IDW stuff has never been good.
What comics? Like, yeah. What has there been? We were teased comics like years ago. And then nothing ever happened.
The IDW stuff is so incredibly bad. Like, I've never made it past the first issue of their Jurassic Park series. And it's like, every time I try so hard.
Yeah.
And I dislike it so much. I've never read the rest. There's like a dozen issues or something.
I don't even know. I think I maybe have one or two of them. Sorry, guys.
I mean, look. The top stuff is crazy and it's wacky and it's off the wall, but at least it had like artwork that was respectable, and at least they were trying for this like Saturday morning cartoon thing. But the IDW stuff, man, it's not been great. Like,
I don't know.
I don't know if that's your era of Jurassic comics and you love it. I'm sorry.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry.
Yeah, but one epic final film. Yeah, I think it's interesting. I definitely think he's speaking from his standpoint. Whether this is his and Bryce's and Colin's standpoint, I don't know. But I think it's his standpoint. And the one thing, and I don't think this is not a spoiler by any means, but the one thing that I have been saying, I feel like I say it almost every podcast, is the fact that I want him killed off, and I think that would be the best, kind of.
These aren't those kind of movies, though, man. No,
but it is this movie. This movie's different, specifically because of all of these people. Like he's saying, the legacy is culminating here. This is different because up until now, I guess sort of, these movies have been very different experiences, just like one journey after the next, outside of Jurassic World and Fallen Kingdom, obviously very connected, but everything's been one-off. So this is that moment where everything combines and connects, and I think things could change, and it could be interesting to see if they want to be bold and be, epic and stuff. I think this is the time to do that. Kill them off,
I don't know, man. These movies are fluff. Like, and I don't mean that in a negative, bad way. They're popcorny, fun, fluff movies. They're not.
Yeah.
They're not. They don't like. Look, I get it. 30 years. I'm sorry. These movies don't have anywhere near the legacy that the Marvel Cinematic Universe pulled off in 10. Like, these are my favorite. Jurassic is my favorite movie of all time. The Marvel Cinematic Universe is legacy. Like, when you get to Endgame, and I won't spoil Endgame for anybody that hasn't seen this and lives under a rock, but like,
we lived it, man.
Wow. Like, I couldn't believe like the emotional impact that the entirety of Endgame, like,
it's impossible, man. It's
if I get the feels one time during Dominion that I got every 10 minutes in Endgame, I will be surprised. And
there's no way. And this is
there's no
coming
way.
from us here,
Like,
it's
yeah.
impossible, man. Like the way that they, like you're saying, it's only 10 years. They made everything feel so real and connected to your heart and everything. So as soon as those punches were pulled in the last film, you're like, oh my God, I'm just tearing up the entire time. This one, I don't know. If they say, for instance, they just go out and they straight up just kill off Grant, Ellie, and Malcolm, and I don't know. I still don't know what my feelings would be. I don't know, because we don't have that emotional connection from film to film. I don't know.
No, we don't. So like, this is what I'm saying. I think this is the last time we see those three as well, by the way. I don't think they ever come back for another movie, because why come back? Why come back to do another spin-off of your character when you're going to be in this epic final conclusion to the Jurassic saga, right? Like why? You know what I'm saying? Like
I mean, we've been saying that about this movie. Why are they here? We still don't know. So
but
who knows?
They're there for that fan service. That's what they're there for, because fan service sells, right?
Yeah.
But I don't have an emotional attachment to Grant. He's a large part of my childhood, but like I don't.
It's just different, man. I don't know what it is. I feel the same thing. Like I've got Grant or multiple Grants sitting up here, and Ellie and Malcolm's, and I think if they killed off that Rex, I think you disagree, but if they killed off the Rex, I would feel way more emotional attachment to that than any of the human characters.
I actually shouldn't say I could care less. I actually had a visceral reaction in Jurassic Park 3 when the Rex dies. Like that, it didn't make me sad. It made me mad.
It did nothing for me.
You know what made me mad? Because it was like only like 15 minutes into the film, and I was like, oh, that's it? Like, that's what I get of... Like, I guess, I don't know.
Well, that was the same thing for me, but even earlier in the film when Ellie walks in with a bunch of kids that aren't Grants. So that was my, pulling out. So it's weird how we're trying to relay this to emotional connection, but I just literally said I had emotional connection to those characters. So I don't know. I don't know why it is the way it is, man. Like, it's just something about like these
because
other
with them it's nostalgia.
You know?
I'm sorry, like it's not great. It's not great writing and universe building for us. Our emotional attachment is through nostalgia. I'm not nostalgic for Iron Man, and I'm not really nostalgic for any of those characters in the MCU, because the MCU is what got me into comic books, basically. I shouldn't say that. Superman is really what got me into comics, but like when the MCU's ramped up and Iron Man comes out, right, and you go, oh, this can be something bigger than the sum, like the whole is bigger than the sum of its parts, right? Or however that saying goes. And so like, I'm not nostalgic for Iron Man. I'm not nostalgic for the Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm not nostalgic for the Avengers, like, at all. But when the Hulk says, this is what I was made to do, and I start bawling in the theaters because I think about, like, I'm like tearing up now because that moment is so well written, and it reflects that character in such a great way from the Edward Norton movie on, about what do I do as this monster? Oh, this is what I can do. I can save all of humanity because I just because this thing that I tinkered with 10 years ago, this is what it was for. You don't get that with Jurassic. And like, you don't have that with Chris Pratt. Like, it doesn't make any sense to kill him off. It would be wasted.
It wouldn't, though. That killing him off would not be wasted. It would give an emotional impact that I don't even think, like I'm saying, I'm not sure if it'll be there for me for the original trio if for some reason one of them are killed off. But like I've been saying, witnessing Blue's reaction to Owen's death would destroy me. And I don't know if it's that, because I guess I'm feeling visceral reactions via the dinosaurs. That's where I am. Like,
I don't understand where you come up with this reaction, like Blue's reaction. Every the end of those last two movies. All right, Blue, I'll see you later. You got to go. I hate you. And the raptor looks at him like what? and then runs
No,
away.
it's not like you're not giving her enough credit. Like she just like she looks at him and she kind of looks at the crate and she's like, "Am I supposed to? Are we going here?" And he's like, "No, you're good. You go your own way." And then she goes her own way. But like,
no, you are reading it totally different than I do. She looks at that crate.
Mine's the right way.
No, she looks at that crate and goes, "I know that if I go with you, I go in that crate, and I don't want to go in that crate."
She just wants to run wild.
Right. She sees, like, especially in Dominion, I've been wild for 3 years. I will not be going back in that crate. I will not be going with you. Right. And
maybe I feel like
even at the end of Jurassic World, he takes off the bracket off her head, and it's like, you are free now. Like, you're no longer an asset. You are a velociraptor. Go do velociraptor things, you know.
I don't know. I feel like and I said person as I was talking before. The person she became on Nublar during those 3 years, she was very like kind of wild and untamed and just feral and didn't seem like the raptor she should be. So I don't know.
Well, where did we see that? We didn't see that ever.
It took her a second to kind of connect back with Owen a little bit. Just right there. Right. There's a lot of inferring from that one moment. Okay. But what are we talking about? I don't even know at this point. I think it would be more emotionally impactful to see Blue react to Owen die than the reverse of that situation. I think that would be, emotional to see her try to pick up his hand or something. And I think it would be great, man. And I can't wait until we can talk about that when it actually happens. But we don't know.
I think we end this movie with a way for Blue to breed or something.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Like I think this movie ends in a way where, I mean, I don't know the DNA. I guess like actually Chris Pugh might know, or Jack Ewens or something, but like I don't know like her mixture. Like can she breed on her own? I don't think she can. Like, can she breed on her own like the other raptors in the original movies? I don't think so. I would imagine that
I don't see why not. I don't think they've discussed any of that. There is controlled breeding in Jurassic World, so they are able to breed out in the wild.
But can she breed on her own? I feel like they would
by herself. You mean with no other partner? I don't think so. I mean, I don't know.
I feel like Wu would have nipped that one in the bud right away, right? Like,
you would think. But say for instance, there's another company out there that's making velociraptors. I could see this really cool exchange where like they made a raptor that's kind of wild and crazy, and they're trying to stop that raptor or whatever, and maybe she helps kind of tame it in a way and stop it from doing whatever it is, whatever its goal is. It could be interesting. Instead of fighting, they kind of like work things out, and maybe she's got a partner for life. I don't know. It's very the way I described it sounds very like CW, but whatever.
What you want, what you're talking about is control. You're talking about you want this character to come under the control of our perceived like what characters are, where I'm like very much of the idea. I think at the end of this thing, Blue is wild.
You think so?
And I think
I guess.
She'll have been 6 years removed from captivity. You can't count Fallen Kingdom. She was with Owen for like a day. So like she's 3 years outside of Jurassic World, and then on 3 years outside of Fallen Kingdom, she's a wild animal at this point. Like, this animal has to have spiraled into nature, right? Like, to me, that's what makes sense. I don't know. We're talking about a completely fake animal.
Definitely nothing that was on our topic list here tonight.
Not at all.
But So we were talking about Chris Pratt's tweet about one epic final film. That's how we got here somehow.
5 hours.
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, this is bad already. But final film, let's go back to that. Is it final? I don't think so. I just think, like you're saying, it's kind of final for him or for others or whoever. I feel like, Colin will always be a guy with his name attached to the product at this point, kind of like Steven Spielberg.
Yeah, you'd have to imagine that he hangs in there, right, for production purposes.
Yeah, he'll get an EP credit forever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. This is definitely not the end. I just thought this was a very interesting way to put it, and telling maybe about their character's future or their story, or the end of their story or something like that. So yeah, pretty cool.
I think this is the. I don't think you see the big three again. I think that in 5 years, maybe you see Pratt show up again. Like, if he doesn't die, right? Like, I don't think his character is so above epicness that he doesn't crop up in a Lowry type situation.
Wearing his Jurassic World T-shirt, and then somebody says, that's
like
in bad taste. That was the coolest place ever. I used to work there, man.
He didn't like it. It's so weird.
Well, nostalgia, 5 years from now, and he's like looking back, he's like, man, I miss this place a lot. All the raptors all over the place, all the dinosaurs always loose out. I had to go catch them all the time.
Man,
from the Lego. Remember when I was Lego?
I'll tell you what I would love is that Chris Pratt I don't know if he's joking or if he's like really for real. He's like, I realize that my career is going to be short-lived. Or he didn't say short-lived, but he's like, I'm looking forward to the days where my body can go back to like the Andy Dwyer.
Oh God, yeah.
Thing.
Yeah.
I can't wait till we get like another 20 years out and we just get a grizzled kind of chubby Owen Grady back in these movies.
Well, the others look fantastic, coming back, and we'll get to them probably in a little bit. But so that about wraps up Chris Pratt. Let's see. Oh, so next up here we have still with Dominion, guys. We're still here with Dominion. Colin Trevorrow let everybody know that there was some issues on the set that we've been kind of talking about for the past several months now due to the virus, COVID-19. So here he says woke up to the news. We had a few positive coronavirus tests on Jurassic World Dominion. All tested negative shortly after, but due to our safety protocols, we're going to pause for 2 weeks. Be back soon, or just back soon. And then he posted a pic. And so
man, they know how to do the teasers on this show, though.
Oh my God, sure. Yeah. And it's funny because like they're so similar. Like they're all dinosaurs in crates of some sort. It always seems like, and it's always something small. Like they really haven't teased anything massive at this point. So, we got the Nasutoceratops baby. We got, like you were saying before, the compies in the cage and a small crate. And then here we have this guy here, very weird. We don't know what it is right off the bat. I'm like, what is this thing? I'm like, oh, cool dinosaur. Oh, nope. Definitely not. Definitely not a dinosaur. It's wearing a mask. It's staying safe. First off, let's go back to the news though. There was a few positive tests, but I guess everybody was actually safe. So with a lot of these tests,
I don't get how that works. Are these tests not even accurate that people take? Like,
Yep. That's the thing is they're not foolproof testing, unfortunately. That's what it sounds like, at least. I've never had a test myself. I've been healthy this whole time. So as far as I know, it seems like a lot of these things are like, well, it's a positive result, but who knows? You might have to get a few tests. We're not doctors, so don't take our advice. So
based on my extensive Big Brother knowledge of COVID-19,
due to my doom scrolling through Twitter constantly, that's what I've found some other people have said over time. So people did test positive, but then I guess on secondary tests they tested negative, so everything was seemingly okay. So they just decided we're going to take a step back and just reassess things for a second and then come back in 2 weeks. And guys, they're already back, so don't worry. Let's take a look at this dinosaur now that we got
this
that out of the way.
This happened so early in the month that the Wire was able to cover the beginning and the end.
Wow, that's too funny. So, and I know I said dinosaur, not a dinosaur, but I just said that. All right, so look at that thing, dude. It's got hair on it's got eyebrows, dude. The thing is, it looks like it looks honestly like this is from Star Wars. I know, it's like an
Yeah.
ancient reptile, and we do have the name here. We'll get to that in a second. But well, I guess I'll just say it's a Lystrosaurus. But
So wait, this is not a dinosaur?
not a dinosaur. Lystrosaurus
Okay.
is, let's see here, was an herbivorous genus of I can't say that. Therapsids. I can't say any of these words apparently.
This is
From
the
the
best
late
part of this
Permian
segment.
and early Triassic. It's a thing, guys. It's what it is. I don't know what it is. It's a Lystrosaurus. It's got a beak that was used for biting off pieces of vegetation. It was heavily built, herbivorous animal. Let's see. Anything else? Wikipedia? I don't know. What is a therapsid? Is that how? Am I saying that right? A synapse. It
I am
includes
not the
mammals
dinosaur
and their
guy, man.
ancestors. Me either, dude. I have no clue. But yeah, it's a reptile. It's like an ancient reptile, guys. So it's not a dinosaur. It's kind of, it falls in line with stuff like what do you call it?
Like what, like Dimetrodon and
Dimetrodon and that kind of thing. So yeah, so it's creepy looking though. It, like I said, it straight up looks like an alien from Star Wars. It's really weird. Big bug eyes. And
I love
yeah.
that like the most prominent feature on this animal is the beak, and they put a mask over it to not spoil the artwork of what that beak is going to look like in this universe.
I know,
Like,
dude.
what a great tease, right? Like, who is this that figured this out that he replied to? Kirsten
Oh yeah,
Famoso,
yeah. We got to get
on
some credit
Twitter,
here.
and she was like, is this Lystrosaurus? And he's like, yeah. But what's great is like I looked up this animal after I saw this confirmation, and I was like, oh, like the thing that would be most exciting about this animal is covered up with a mask. Like, what a phenomenal little teaser. Like I put this teaser up there with like Claire's boots, like the boots for Fallen Kingdom. Yeah, like it's a great teaser. It's not the first time we've had animals that aren't dinosaurs. Like pteranodons aren't dinosaurs. So.
Sure. Yeah, Mosasaurus.
Right.
Yeah. So and it's
Right.
tiny. Like it looks really, really small. 3 feet long. Yikes.
Yeah, that's not
And,
very,
like if you look at
not very big.
this description based off the human size, it's tiny. Man, I actually didn't realize it was that small. So that's cool. It's gonna be a tiny little guy.
I mean, the toy
really
will be
creepy.
bigger than the humans, but
This artwork here on Wikipedia is horrifying. Like it straight up looks like a monster alien kind of thing. Like I would see this on Tatooine, dude. It's weird. I guess there may be different variations here or something. I don't know.
I guess that's the thing is like when I Googled this thing, there's so many variations of what this thing looks like.
Exactly.
And, like,
yeah.
The first one I feel like is acceptable for an artist.
And this is from Ark Survival Evolved. This one here that's on my screen. Yeah. So it kind of.
Too. Yep.
Yeah, it'll probably look something similar to that. But again, that thing looks like an alien too. So this is all. Yeah, I guess. Okay, so here's another good pick. The largest and the smallest, I guess, or average. So large could be kind of big, but yeah, mostly average is like very small. So
right,
interesting.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I'm down with this. It reminds me of I'm gonna butcher this name, the Lycanopes or whatever that toy was from Jurassic Park Series 2 that looked like a weird brown tiger.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah.
This kind of reminds me of that toy. Which I guess why not just go with that? I don't know.
I don't know, man. Speaking of toys, are there some toys in this this little crate? Is this a little playful guy? It
Oh,
looks like
I went away from the picture.
it looks like in the bottom left, there's kind of like a little squeaky
Oh,
looking
yeah.
toy. And then it honestly looks like there's like a dinosaur toy in the back laying down on its side with like a dino foot or something. I can't really tell if that's exactly what that is, but it does look like a little playful guy in here at least.
What's up with this guy's front right foot? Didn't we have a discussion?
Horrifying.
We have a discussion about these animals, like the Nasutoceratops having a weird bumblefoot kind of disease looking thing?
We did. Yeah.
That's very weird. This foot does not look like any of the other artwork floating around the internet. The other artwork has like very defined, like 5 or 6 claws or whatever.
Yeah.
And this thing, again, like the Nasutoceratops, has like a clubbed foot. Do you think this is a puppet thing? Or do you think this might be a thing in the movie?
It's like it's a puppet thing as far as like, well, we can only go so far, guys. You can do the rest digitally.
We did. Yeah, the new hybrid VFX puppet animals is 99% awesome. 1% clubfoot. The CG's got to do.
Yeah, it's like the artist who like literally can draw phenomenal but cannot draw a hand for their life. You know?
Right.
That's a very interesting point though, dude. Like I looked at that foot and then just thought like it's ugly. But yeah, I forgot to compare it to what we saw previously. I'm trying to go through and figure out. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, so let me
that Nasutoceratops had a funky foot.
Yeah, there was that one foot that was really ugly here, and here it is. Let's bring it back up here for everybody to see. So yeah, this left foot on the thing. It's just like a very odd looking foot, and I don't know. We don't know where this came from. Is this the same? No, it can't be, right? Like it's got to be. Who knows? We probably speculated on that a ton, but I don't remember.
I mean, again, I don't know if this is like maybe that's where the wires run through, so it can't be as like.
Well, not in this guy, at least. You can see the wires running straight in on the side on this Nasutoceratops.
I was like, what are you talking about, man?
But yeah, dude, they're both like really gnarly looking.
Yeah.
Huh. So, I mean, if we're to speculate wildly, maybe whoever is creating these things is just not all that good at them. It's possible.
Yeah, the only thing that bums. Okay, so let's say that this is a thing where like another company's making dinosaurs and they're not good at it and they keep messing up feet. The only thing that bums me out about that is that like all the toys we're gonna get for the movie are all gonna have messed up, jacked up feet. Like
it's like, why can this thing not stand? Why does this not stand up?
No. I don't mean that. Like I mean like so when Jurassic Park 3 came out, up until Jurassic Park 3, all the dino damage had like pieces that would like cover it up. And so you could have a dino damaged dinosaur, but then you could also have like a fully non-harmed Triceratops, right?
Yeah.
But then like when Jurassic Park 3 came out and all the dinosaurs had dino damage, but like it was like sculpted into the pieces, it was like, oh, so I can only play the fight sequence. I can't play these animals are totally safe and fine in their living quarters.
Just ignore the fact that it's got this gaping wound on its
I
side.
could not ignore it, man. This is when I quit. Jurassic Park 3 is when I quit.
Yep, same. All right, so going back to the picture, I just want to take a quick look at the background too to see if there's anything interesting of note there. Quickly, it looks like on the right-hand side, maybe we've got some sort of window.
Small aquarium?
It does look like an aquarium. It looks like maybe this could be some sort of like a view into a zoo type setting or something like that. Small aquarium, something.
Oh yeah.
On the left hand side, what seems to be a massive piece of amber. Look, like the way that it's kind of like backlit again, like kind of like the logo was that we were talking about before.
Yeah.
And it kind of like the way that you see that giant piece of amber on Main Street in Jurassic World. It looks very similar to that. I can't really identify architecture outside of that. I don't really see too much a second level, but who knows?
I guess Gray, Zach and Gray. Yeah,
Yeah.
Gray brings up this idea or this concept in Jurassic World that like even if like the amber mines dry up, they can still make them from like other resources. I guess I always assumed that if there was another company making dinosaurs that they would try one of these other resources because like obviously Wu is all in on amber because even in like Jurassic World we still see amber in the lab, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh I mean amber's even part of like their theming in
Mm-hmm.
Jurassic World, like on Main Street, there's those big amber statues. So like,
Yeah.
I mean, there's not. I mean, there's nothing saying that it wouldn't have been amber. I guess I just always assumed that we'd move into other
Me too.
avenues.
I kind of assumed we moved away from amber in a way, but maybe it's just that legacy thing that we're like, this is where it came from, you know. So we're always
Right.
going to reference back to that, like, you know.
Right.
So that's kind of what I've assumed. Um, but yeah,
I love this little guy,
Lysosaurus.
man.
It's really cute.
He's yeah.
It's cool.
Cool.
And then also, maybe this is lastly on Dominion, but it looks like they are back, right? So they should be back here.
Yeah. Now, what does
Let
the
me bring
official
up.
tweet say? Does it say we're back?
It does say something like that. It says back. A very non-descriptive tweet here from Colin Trevorrow, just back. Period. And it's just, I mean, we get it, guys. We all get it. A picture of, Sam Neill, Laura Dern, and Jeff Goldblum in front of the post office. I mean, the Richard Attenborough stage out at Pinewood. So
How nice, right? Like, that's actually.
it was very touching, dude. Like, honestly.
Yeah, I really dug it.
I looked at that. Once I figured out it was not the post office, I was like, what are they doing? They're back in the States? Like, they really took some time off here. But then I realized, oh, that's really nice. The Richard Attenborough stage. That's great.
Yeah. Now, did they say here that they filmed on it? I think did Laura Dern post something that they were filming on it, or Sam Neill or something?
Sam Neill posted something. What did
Because like,
he post?
did they film on this stage? Is that what I guess that's what I'm asking.
I'm assuming they did, or they were at least just there. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Right.
Let me check out Sam Neill's Instagram because I think that's where he does most of his work. Sam Neill, the prop.
Most of his work, as if Instagram is his crowning achievement.
It is. I mean, he's got a fantastic photo, a pic, a gram. He's nailing it, you know?
On the Insta.
Let me get away from the rest of these pictures that he has on his account and pull up the one that we care about. Okay.
Look how good these people look, man, in this photo. They look amazing.
And that's what we were saying about joking about Chris Pratt coming back like Andy Dwyer. It's like these guys come back 30 years later and they just look phenomenal, you know?
They're more jacked than they were in the original film.
Yeah. Sam Neill says, today, here we are thinking about our old pal and colleague, dear old Dickie Attenborough, on the actual Richard Attenborough stage at Pinewood Studios. Completely appropriately, we faced our greatest dinosaur terror yet today on a great soundstage named for the great man himself, but in the capable hands of Colin Trevorrow. So there you go. That's it. Yeah,
Nice.
you're right. And he did go on to say blah blah blah. So he tagged a few people. We got Laura Dern, Jeff Goldblum, Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard, DeWanda Wise, and Isabella Sermon. We should make it, okay? As Dickie would say, darling, I lived through the Blitz. So, yeah. So it must have been a very harrowing experience with some dinosaurs, with maybe just those people specifically. So that's interesting. To know that, I guess all of these people, like, we were finally starting to get confirmation as far as like who is working together and like who will see scenes with each other. And it seems like I don't know. I feel like why would you just name this random collection of people? and not
because these are the you're talking just specifically like in the
specifically
tags and
this
stuff. Okay.
this tweet here. It's not like he went on to mention Daniela Pineda or whoever else is on the film. There's like a billion people, right? Scott Hayes. He didn't mention any of these people. So it was specifically these people. So I think that's interesting that potentially Maisie, Grant, Ellie, and Malcolm are together with Bryce or I'm getting all their names confused at this point. Way too many people. You know what I'm talking about. Claire and Owen. And then DeWanda Wise, whoever DeWanda Wise is playing. So yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I want to take a look at Malcolm's shirt because I believe these are costumes. I believe this is what they're wearing. You see Grant does have a laceration on the top of his head. And Malcolm,
look at that.
Yeah, Malcolm has a very Lost World shirt, which I absolutely love. It's that like the shirt in the Lost World had a very, very specific fabric. I don't know what it is. It's just kind of like a quick dry in a way.
Black fabric?
It was I didn't say color. I meant like the style of it. Like it's like a quick dry kind of thing. Like at least maybe it wasn't specifically, but it kind of had that look to it. That's what this. Okay. It looks like the same shirt, except the one in the Lost World was definitely not black. By the way, it was like had more of like a reddish tinge to it. If you just so happen to mix black and red, whatever that color is. Probably just still black, right?
I think it's still black. Maroon. Isn't that maroon?
Yeah, we'll say maroon. That's a good one, right? There.
Good compromise.
But I just like that. We saw him in what, like a suit or something last time in Fallen Kingdom, and it looks like he's going back to his casual style, that he wears around town. In the Lost World. Let me bring up a picture. I gotta bring up a picture of him from the Lost World just so we can like debate Malcolm shirts. Didn't we do like a whole like beard conversation or something at one point?
We have Alan Grant with the beard, which is all that really matters. I mean, look at this photo and all I see is this dumb kid Tom commenting to Colin Trevorrow.
Wait.
Jeez.
Well, I didn't even see him
everywhere.
Oh, there he is. Yeah. Oh, geez, Colin, we spoke about this. Okay. When did you guys talk about that? All right, so here's a good pick. Let me bring this up in a new tab here, just so we can see it. It's not very big. I
have to record with Tom.
You should do that.
Ever recorded with Tom?
Well, I mean, he called in here one time, right?
He called in to you, yeah.
All right, so here's a pic of Ian Malcolm. And it's when he yawns against the beautiful backdrop in the subway station. You could just look at that shirt, guys. That shirt looks very much like this shirt. It's not like we have enough to talk about. Podcast. I know.
You will not stop about the shirt.
It's the shirt, guys. We have to talk about the shirt. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little crazy, but I just noticed the shirt and I'm like, I gotta bring it up because if I don't, somebody's gonna be like, "Did you see the shirt?" Yeah, I saw it. End of story.
I'm really happy that Alan Grant is not wearing like a blue shirt with a bandana. Like Jurassic Park 3, Alan Grant is so weird, right? Because it's not the Grant we're used to. But it does make it at least feel like these are real people who change styles and wear different things every day. And they're not like the Doug Funny closet where they wear, Alan Grant always wears the blue shirt. I
mean, I don't know if you looked under his jacket, but he is wearing a blue shirt.
Is he wearing a blue shirt under the jacket?
It looks denim, but yeah, he is.
Microphone. All right. Well, crap. All right.
But yes, it's a very touching image. I love the picture there. And they're back, guys. At least back. We don't know much about the progress or what's happening there, what they shot outside of what he said. But they're back, guys.
I love the tweet because it's just like it's like it feels begrudging, like Colin had to do something. Like
I'm back.
his yeah, like no, like I don't have time for this, but my publicist or my assistant says that I need to do something.
That's
And
that's
so
like yeah, that's me posting a picture on Instagram. I'm just like I don't want to write a sweet comment on something. I just want to like just post it. Just be done with it.
right. I'm adjusting. Let me know if my video
You look good. You look great, man.
great.
But yeah, I think that about wraps up our conversation on Jurassic World Dominion. Was that long? It was only an hour for one topic. I'm sorry. Anyway,
We covered a lot.
we did. It was a lot. It was like 1/3 of our conversation so far. So,
We're great.
thanks guys. Let's go ahead and move on to our next